Hey guys, so today in this video I'm going to be doing more of a vlog type video. I just want you guys to get to know me more, and I'm going to tell you guys my most embarrassing stories. So if you know me in real life, you'd know that I am very awkward and I get embarrassed very easily. So I have accumulated a lot of stories for you guys. I'm going to try to make it fast just so you guys don't get bored with me talking so much. So I actually made a list of my stories, so yeah, let's just get into the video. So the first story happened maybe 2 years ago. I was invited by my friend Santos to go to Great America. So there was like a few cars that were driving to Great America, and I was in a car with my friend Santos, his friend Hector, me, and my friend Angie. So we stopped on our way to Great America to get gas, and we were just kind of all like chilling outside of the car, and then Santos goes to his friend Hector while he's pumping gas. He goes, "Hector, can you take out the pump already?" because he put in his credit card, so it's kind of thing where you have to stop it. So me being really dumb, I was like, oh my gosh, I want to take out the pump because I've never pumped gas before. So he was like, okay. So he was kind of teaching me on how to take it out. You guys are probably like, oh my god, you are so stupid. But I've never pumped gas before, so I like held the pump, and he was like, okay, hold it and then take it out. So it's like, okay. So I held the little lever thing, I held it and took it out, and that's what makes gas squirt out when you hold the little thing. So I held it and took it out, and the gas squirt everywhere. It got all over my hair, it got all over my clothes, it got all over the car, and like I literally turned around and there's like a family, a whole family in like an SUV behind, and they're literally looking at me like this. I was like I was so scared. I thought I was gonna catch on fire. Like I thought my skin was gonna burn off. I was just being very over dramatic, and I was just so scared, and I like dropped the pump and it stopped squirting gas, obviously because I let it go. But like everyone was freaking out. Like most of them were laughing, but I was freaking out. I went to the bathroom and I had to like damp myself off with like a wet towel because I googled it and I didn't want to die. So yeah, that was just really embarrassing. I just looked so stupid. So yeah, that's my first story. My second story happened like 2.5 weeks ago. It was really recently, and it was more awkward than embarrassing, but I find the two very similar, so I'm gonna tell this story anyways. So my friend Daisy invited me to the movies. It was kind of like a last minute thing, so I was late to the movies, and I have really bad eyesight, so when I have to look for someone in a large crowd of people, it just... So I walk in the theater and they were like towards the top, so first of all it was already awkward because I was like really searching for them like through my blind eyes, and I couldn't find them for the longest time. And as I was trying to look for them, I saw like 2 people wave to me, and I had no idea who they were because 1, it was in the dark, 2, I'm blind as heck. So I kind of just pretend like I didn't see them, to be honest, because I didn't want to like wave and like not know who they were, and I didn't even know if they were waving to me. What if they were waving to the person behind me? Like, I don't know, that's just so awkward. So I kept going, and I finally found them, and I sat down, and they were eating candy, and they were like, "Can you get us some popcorn?" I was like, "Sure." So I go down to the food court, and like on those stairs it's kind of awkward just walking, so like I feel like you just kind of have to like gallop because everyone's like staring at you, and like if you walk you're like just really slow, and it's complicated. So I gallop to the food court, and I get there and I'm like, oh crap, I forgot my wallet. So I go back and I gallop up those stairs, and I go into my row, and I'm like looking everywhere for my wallet. I'm like, where the heck is my wallet? And I look up to my friend Daisy, and I was like, where's my wallet? And it wasn't Daisy. It was like a completely different girl. She was sitting with like 5 different guys, and there was like a row above mine, so I just went in the wrong row accidentally because that's how blind I am. So as I noticed it wasn't her, and she looked at me like I was freaking retarded, I literally just looked at her and I was like, oh, I'm sorry, wrong person, and I like turned around, I ran away, and then I ran back into my row, which was really awkward because we were sitting directly in front of them, so they saw like everything. And then my friend Daisy was like laughing so hard because she saw what happened, so it was just really embarrassing. And then I got my wallet, and I ran down and I got popcorn, and it was just so embarrassing. My face turned so red and I couldn't breathe because I was laughing so hard at the fact of how stupid I was. So yeah, that's my embarrassing story number 2. So my third embarrassing moment happened when I think it was 2 years ago, and I went to Young Life. And if you guys don't know what Young Life is, I know Hello Katie XO and Miss Megan Makeup go to that, but it's kind of just like this youth group type thing where you play like a lot of games, and it's just so much fun. So I went to that during high school, and it was towards Christmas time, so they were having like an ugly Christmas sweater party. So I went with like an ugly Christmas sweater that I got at Goodwill, and I was just so excited. It was fun. I had hot chocolate, and then I was kind of standing against the wall talking to my friend, and then the leaders were like, okay, everyone sit down, we're gonna start talking. So you know when you're like against the wall and then you sit down, so you like slide against the wall and then you sit down? That's what I did. So as I was sliding down, I felt like a sharp thing poke my butt, and I was like, ow, like it really hurt. So I turned around and I looked, and there's like this thing sticking out of the wall, like it was this really sharp object. I was like, ow, that hurt. So I just sat down, and the floor was concrete, so it was really cold, and I sat down. I felt this like instant coldness, like a cold spot right on my butt. So I was like, oh my god. And like I put my hand down, and I felt, I'm not even kidding, there was this hole in my pants like this long, like it was, I don't know, I can't describe it, but it was like a huge hole in my pants right on my butt crack. So the thing, like it rips through everything, yeah, like my bare butt was showing. And as I felt my bare butt, this instantly went in my head, and I was like, right when I ripped my pants and I looked at the wall, I flashed or mooned everyone behind me, because I was like, what was that in the wall? And like everyone behind me probably saw my butt. I try to think that they didn't. They were like kind of talking, they didn't see, but you know, I don't think so. I'm pretty sure they all saw my butt. So I was kind of panicking, and I was like, oh my goodness, I want to leave right now. They were like preaching and stuff, so I was like sitting, and to make it even worse, one thing about me, my legs fall asleep super fast and super easily, and like they hurt so much. So my leg was kind of awkwardly in between my friend Haley and Olivia, and they were already dying at the fact that my pants ripped. So they were like laughing, and then all of a sudden I felt my foot falling asleep and it getting really heavy, and it started getting really painful, like to the point where like I couldn't stand it, and like we were all very squished together, and I was against the wall, so there was like nowhere I could move my foot. And like I'm not even kidding you, this is the worst pain I've ever had, where my leg has fallen asleep. Like I don't know why it hurt so bad, but it did, and I literally wanted to scream. Like I'm not even being over dramatic, like it just hurt so bad. And like I was literally like aching there sitting down, and they were even laughing even more at the fact that I was aching, that I had a hole in my pants. It was just like, why? Like why did this happen to me? Like what did I do to deserve this? And then finally it was over, and I was able to like rest my leg as I was waking up, which is like the worst part. And then I had to take off my sweater. Luckily I had like an undershirt on, so I wasn't like flashing everyone, but I had to wrap my sweater around my waist to cover my hole, so I was extra fashionable that night. So yeah, that was an embarrassing story. I think it was number 4, right? So I have like 5 more on my list, but I'm only gonna do like 3 more just because I don't want this video to be extra long. So my next story happened in 6th grade, and I was sitting in the back of the class, and there's this kid that I liked in that class, and he sat like way in front of me, but to the point where like if he looked back we could make direct eye contact. So we were just chilling in class, and I was like, I have a booger in my nose, like I need to pick this right now. So me being in the back of the class, I was like, no one's gonna see me, it's alright. So I stick my finger in my nose and I start digging for gold, and as my finger is literally up in my nose, the kid that I liked literally just out of nowhere looks at me, and I can't even explain to you how awkward this was, but like I had my finger in my nose, and I was like, and then like I moved my hand down really fast, and like I know he saw me, but he just pretended like he didn't, just so I wouldn't feel awkward. Like I've done that before with other situations. Like he just looked at me and he smiled, and I was like and I don't know, I just feel like that's just so embarrassing. Like I still feel embarrassed for it now, and it's like 7 years later, and I still know him, so that's great. Okay, so my second to last story that I'm going to tell you guys happened freshman year, and it happened in this math class, and I love this math class. Like I actually felt smart in it. Like I always got 100% on my tests, and it was just, I just love the teacher. Like I just love the way she taught and stuff. But sometimes like I guess she got sick of me because I would always talk and I would always get in trouble. So I guess this time she had enough, because that class, we're all like friends, we're like a family. So like every time she would move me from someone that I would talk, I'd find someone new to talk to. So it's like I never stopped talking. And one time I guess she got like sick of me, and like in the middle of her teaching, like I wasn't talking out loud, I don't think so, but in the middle of her teaching she like turns around and she's like, "Rebeca Torres," and like screams so loud in front of everyone. Everyone like looks at me like robots, and then I'm just sitting there, I'm like, yeah, and she goes, "Get up here right now," and like it was so like awkward for me, and like I sat in the back of the class, so I like got up and I walked in this little aisle in front of everyone, and I got up there and she was literally standing like this close to me, and she was just like screaming at me in front of everyone. She was like, "Don't you ever disrespect my class, blah blah," like I don't even remember what she said, just because I was so focused on the fact of how embarrassed I was in front of everyone. The class was silent, so they were all just staring at me, and well, I was being yelled at and my face turns red super easily, and I'm pretty sure it was like redder than this shirt. So the last one I think is a pretty good embarrassing story. So I think it was like sophomore year. I went to the bathroom with my friend, and she was already in the bathroom, and I walked in to the bathroom because I was gonna go to the bathroom, and I opened the door because it wasn't locked, and there was this girl peeing, and I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry," and I closed it. So that was already a little awkward. So then I went to the bathroom and I was like, "Oh my gosh, that was so awkward, embarrassing, blah blah," and then I get out and I see the girl standing there washing her hands. So I washed my hands because there's only one sink. I know it sounds weird, but it's like a huge sink. So we were like washing our hands, and I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, like I didn't mean to open the door, I thought it was locked." And she looked at me, she was like, "What?" And I was like, "Oh my god, you are not the same girl." So yeah, long story short, it was a different girl and they just looked exactly the same, I guess. Yeah, and I was just like, what the hell, like how did I even do that? Like it was just so awkward. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed my embarrassing stories. If you guys have embarrassing stories, which I'm pretty sure you should, leave them in the comments, because I absolutely love hearing stories. Like I've literally YouTubed my most embarrassing stories so many times, and like I've watched random videos. So if you guys have like a video like this or anything like that, if you guys want to see more videos like this, like my most scariest moment or something like that, I don't know, leave a request down below. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you guys in my next video. I love you guys. Bye.